a chilling twist of fate, a young girl finds herself trapped in an unknown location, kidnapped and left to fend for herself. Her heart races as she desperately searches for a way out, unaware of how long she has been gone or where her captors might be lurking. As the sound of approaching footsteps draws nearer, panic sets in. She hides behind the crates, hoping to remain undetected, while her mind races with thoughts of escape. If only she could find a way out of this nightmare. With her heart pounding like a drum, she watches the shadowy figure move through the dim light, every instinct urging her to stay silent. In a moment of clarity, she spots a shard of glass on the floor, her only hope for either protection or a potential escape. Gathering every ounce of courage, she prepares to sprint toward the locked door, the shard of glass a fragile weapon against the overwhelming fear. In the oppressive silence, the warehouse feels like a predator waiting for its prey. In a moment of sheer adrenaline, she races to the door, the echoes of footsteps growing louder behind her. With desperation fueling her every move, she battles the lock, praying for it to give way before it's too late. With a final twist of the lock, the door creaks open, revealing the bright light of day. Stepping out into the open air, she feels a rush of hope surge through her veins, leaving behind the darkness that held her captive. As she emerges into the daylight, she scans her surroundings with a mix of caution and relief. Every step forward feels like a leap toward freedom, yet the shadows of her ordeal still linger in her mind. With each cautious step down the street, she remains hyper-aware of her surroundings, convinced that her captors may still be close behind. Spotting a distant figure approaching, she gathers her courage, waving her arms frantically, hoping to attract their attention. As the stranger approaches, their expression shifts from confusion to concern, realizing the gravity of the situation. Overcome with emotion, she collapses into their arms, the weight of her trauma beginning to lift as safety finally envelops her. Wrapped in the arms of her savior, the girl feels a surge of reassurance wash over her. In that moment, surrounded by the chaos of the city, she begins to understand that her nightmare is finally over. With trembling hands, the woman dials for assistance, promising the girl that help is on the way. As she rests her head on the stranger's shoulder, a new sense of hope begins to blossom within her, reminding her that she is not alone. Moments later, the sound of sirens fills the air as police officers arrive, their presence bringing immediate relief. Looking up at them, the girl feels a wave of trust wash over her, knowing she is finally safe from harm. With compassion in their eyes, the officers listen intently as she recounts her harrowing story, ensuring she feels heard and supported. In this moment, surrounded by kindness and light, she begins to heal, knowing that this is just the beginning of her journey toward recovery.